Hey guys, iKailaKai here, and today, sorry there's no fancy intro, but I wanted to kind of talk to you guys. I've been slowing down my upload schedule a little bit because I finally got a job, which is great, and just I'm getting into it, of course, and once I kind of stabilize in that, I'm going to try to speed up my uploads again, just to let you know. In regards to this game, however, this was one of the first times that I was fighting Teach, recorded a couple of days before, and I haven't really played the matchup of Doflamingo versus Teach, so I made many mistakes actually, and I will talk about some patterns that you can do as the Doflamingo player to make it a bit easier, as in this game I think I made a bit too many mistakes. So at the end of this video, I'm going to be talking about what mistakes I made and how you can sort of improve and maximize the amount of damage that you can put out as Doflamingo in this matchup, but just know that I was very inexperienced with this matchup, so that's why I made a couple of mistakes, and hopefully you can learn from my mistakes as well. Let's get into the video.
Special 그 jumping point. Ankle shot. Okay, this first.
I don't know what I'm mulliganing for though.
I'm not looking for this, so I'm just gonna shot. I want dock you. This is fine.
Yeah.
And this is fine.
Yeah,
I don't need this.
I see.
And I want searches to just swing into.
I think regardless, I don't have on-play effects, and most of my deck is on-play effects, so I should just get like big bodies,
Yeah,
I'd imagine.
pretty much.
Right?
Again, just or much better.
Okay.
Something. I think that's a black hole. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Hey. Single pick.
Yeah.
Pick five. I don't think I need Jim Day.
You don't.
I don't need Jim Day,
Yeah,
so I'll just pick up Hancock, I guess.
Yeah.
And join.
6 days later.
Think. Okay.
Get on. Duck like. See how it goes. So leader effect. Leader effect.
Okay.
Yeah, that. Leader effect. I'll go trash. Black hole.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think there is an argument not to rest up here there, just
Yeah.
because like, if I for example play Pirona, then maybe you can do that because I would maybe want to do like 8,000 and then you force me to get there. But because I don't know the top, generally I'm going to play at 4 costs, I think. So then hitting 5k here for me doesn't feel to that. Anyways, I hit the 5k
Coach go ahead.
for the Hungel fit and then enter.
I usually don't press dock Q that early, but just want to see how this goes. But that's what the winner did.
That's fair.
Just want to see how that goes. That's nice. Chicken. Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I mean, I think I basically just take these first two.
They could put Shooter.
7,000 later.
No leader effect?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. For the Hungel fit and then enter. It's too bad. I wish I could use on-play effects. So my thinking here is that you probably run out of cards pretty quickly if you keep using your leader effects. I see a certain way. I don't know the limits of that deck.
I generally like to finish the game not too fast after getting turned on. I should have played this earlier in the game, but that required a lot of foresight, and I also didn't have this earlier in the game. I'm just gonna go 5k leader. Cinnamon. Yeah. Leader effect. Trash it. Yes.
Okay. 7,000 liter. 7,000 liter effects.
We're in business. Oh, I'll take that one.
It's always get all on that. For the
And this is when turns start.
hey, enter.
Correct. Hold on. We need echo.
Okay.
Yeah. Geelong. Trash black hole.
Yep.
Okay, well.
Okay.
6 go.
Leader.
Yeah. Okay, well. Leader effect.
Yep.
Trash strike again.
Okay. I think basically if I hit the balloon for 7, it dies because you wouldn't, I imagine, want to go down to 1 unless the 1 card is 10 costs each. So I can play 2 4 costs and then hit Laboon for 7,000 and no leader effect, or I can just try to flip something off the top and then play something better out of hand. I feel like regardless, I would have 2 bodies on the board. It's just there's a little bit of risk to using my leader effect.
Yeah.
But I think that that's generally better. 8,000 Laboon.
Yep.
Effects. Weevil.
That's
Yeah.
the bean bets.
So the reason why I think this is going to be generally better is because next teach is going to be at 10 dong. And if he does end up having a 10 cost teach in his hand, which as we can see he actually does have a 10 cost teach, then he can just play 10 cost teach the next turn with a lot of security and keep the Laboon on the board. So he can do Laboon Jack every single turn and also play teach, and I think that that's just too much to deal with. So the first pattern means that I hit with 7,000, which means that he just needs a 2k and a 1k. However, he discarded a 2k with his leader effect, which makes it a very high chance that he has a 2k in his hand. And if he has a 2k in his hand, that probably means he has a 2k and a 1k, but what is unlikely is for him to have 2 2ks. So just to make sure that he can't defend the Laboon, I hit with 8,000 to the Laboon, and then played it in this fashion rather than hitting at 7,000 and playing the 2 4 cost, which is technically a little bit less risky.
6 dong, Joseph, no effect, and then enter.
I actually have this that I can do, which lets me use this as an attack instead. Or I have these. I have a rest for the green one.
Okay.
And I go with the green. Onto Joseph.
Hmm.
And chuck. Draw one. Okay, Joseph.
Hit.
In that case, I'll go 7 out later.
I really want to defend that. I think I have to take this, and then just hope I get good things from here. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Oh, if I just
Okay.
leader effect, trash. Probably want to trash. Oh, actually, that's too light. If I'm aiming to go for lethal next turn, then I probably don't need this.
The one thing is maybe, for example, if I play a couple of blockers and you don't have lethal,
Yeah.
you do want to have a different plan.
That's true.
Something to consider. And you definitely don't die next turn because I don't have rush scripts.
Yeah, I definitely don't die next turn.
I
So
mean, presumably.
brush you off.
Yeah, rush is
So I was gonna go with that switch here. I'll trash Stringo.
Okay.
Then I'll pass turn, and I'm gonna count out Hellstorm that uses. So it's currently at 9k.
I want to get you down to 0 so I can actually go for lethal. But if I don't get rid of the Laboon, then there's other problems. Is there anything that I can pop off my deck? Oh,
Well, yeah.
I could get something like the 4 cost off. I don't think there's any reason to play anything in my hand. At the very least, that goes to 7k.
You know?
Yep.
Yep.
I think this is the right play because I really just need counter right now. 9k leader. Leader effect 4. Too bad.
Okay.
Wrong
Well,
2k.
That goes through as well.
4 don't. Engine.
Okay.
Just because it doesn't reduce my counter. The thing is, I would have wanted to clear Laboon there. So, like, you can very easily clear the things that are rested here, and
Yeah.
then presumably KO this. And if you're at 1 life the next turn, then I just don't have a way to kill.
Yeah.
So I think I need to hit life there, unfortunately, although I really want to kill Laboon.
If I can clear this board and have 10 cost each out, I don't die next turn.
Yeah.
I do still die to perfume actually.
Yeah.
Which is another thing to consider. But
I think that's the thing to consider.
yeah, but considering they're only a 1 or 2 orb, I think, in most decks,
Mhm.
there's a reasonable chance that you don't have it.
I think also you have to think about the way that I've been playing now.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't have it, then I would hit Laboon. Is what I would say.
Mm,
Because I'm playing in a way where you die to it,
that's true.
which if I didn't have it means that I'm expecting to draw it here because obviously I can't use things like my single boot to search for it. So if I hit in a way that puts you down to 0,
Mm.
that means I have it basically.
I'm going to leader effects, trash this, and I'm going to leader effects again, trash my 10 cost each
Okay.
to get budgies up to each month or
Okay.
10,000.
Yep.
9 face.
Okay. So I need to defend 2 of those.
Yeah, 2 of these need to be funded.
And this is technically the cheapest hit.
Yeah.
So you go 9/9. So I do have I can defend the next 9. Because regardless I'm gonna need to defend a 10 or an 11, so I can at least see what's here. Okay.
9 later. And that's very telling. So I think got 3 dots.
I have 3 cards.
Yeah, 3 cards, so that's 10 leader.
Take.
I should have attacked this first.
Yeah, for sure.
And then 10 leader.
I was.
Okay, so this was the first mistake that I made, which was in the mulligan. Now my theory was that because all of my cards don't have on-play effects anyways, that I should just prioritize the cards with the higher stat lines in 6000 power. However, this isn't actually true because he does have the ability to KO 4 costs, and of course he'll be KOing the cards with higher stat lines with higher priority, so it actually doesn't end up mattering what I end up putting out. So the cards that do actually matter are these. These are the cards that you're mulliganing for in this matchup. By playing these 1 costs on random turns where you have extra 1 dong, there are actually a lot of timings where you have extra dong, and being able to just get an extra 5k hit at any point in the game to force the opponent to have to use 1 extra card is honestly very annoying for the opponent. Teach as well, of course, is very great because he can put the dong on himself or the dong on the other characters, or even just help you decide what you put out with your leader effect. The one thing you need to be careful of course, is burning your hand too fast. However, by playing these cards in tandem with the other 4 costs on good turns, or just mulliganing to try to get 2 of these out on the first turn, is very powerful and helps you. Because I didn't have these, I had to just play with the 4 costs that I had, and didn't really see the timings because I wasn't really taking into account that I could play these characters just as 1 cost 2000 vanillas. But definitely something to consider. The other mistake that I made is an extension of this, where of course if you have these sorts of cards in your hand, then for example, because Teach of course does not run that many 2k counters, you can hit for 6000 power, play 2 4 costs, and a 1 cost. And then of course, you can maybe get rid of a couple of these. They are active, so it's hard to get rid of all of them, which means that even if he can manage to get rid of 2, which is honestly quite unlikely, you still have your leader and an attacker next turn. So these sorts of ways where you can just create more attackers even if they don't have on-play effects are very important in this matchup. As for the deck list and discussion, here is the Doflamingo list. The Doflamingo list is pretty standard as of now. The 2k ratio is more or less something that I feel more comfortable with. I feel like by putting in more 4 cost 5000 power 2ks, it's just a better random target for your leader ability. And of course the 2000 counter law is good in tandem with the 2 cost Teach, because in the event that you don't have the bounce 4 cost law, or you don't really want to use the bounce 4 cost law, this law can be used instead to be able to use your leader effect without any hand cost and still hit for 7000 with of course a bonus effect. The 1 cost spike I do think is fine, but I do think that just raising the ceiling for the deck is generally better, which is why I have it down at 2 and the others at 2 and 4 to make the total 2k count 12. This is a fairly standard list as of now, and I haven't really felt the need to change some things. Maybe I'll try putting in a 7 cost Doflamingo thanks to Clyde's tech. And regarding the Teach list, now the friend that I was playing with is a Teach player through and through. He's been playing it since day 1 of OP09, Teach only, and he's actually had this list for over a month before it was even the standard version of Teach. So definitely I trust the way that he plays the deck and how he thinks about the game through the Teach lens. Generally the cards that are at 2 or 3 are cards that are included to either pad out the searches, or cards that you don't really want to draw at every point in the game. For example, you don't really want to be drawing Jack on your 10 long turn, although of course you can get rid of your leader ability. You do generally want to have other cards, for example cards with counter. I'm going to have an extremely detailed video talking with this friend that I played with about Teach as well as the championship, because of course Teach won the championship, and it's an extremely long video to edit down, so it's been taking a little while. But if you guys are interested in that, of course, stick around and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.